Hi, my dearest family. Here is the aspect of the week, and I picked Mars and Pluto square, which is going to be taking place on the 11th of June on 2 degree, almost on 2 degree of Taurus to 2 degree of Aquarius. Now, before we do that, I am starting a 6 house course. So this is going to be about signs on the sixth house cusp, planets in the sixth house, the ruler of the sixth house in placements, the meaning of sixth house. Often sixth house is just considered to be anything to do with health and co-workers and pets and work. But the sixth house is a lot more than that. For example, the crisis in the ego. So we're going to be exploring the meaning of the sixth house in depth through 6 weeks. So if you're interested, check that out on my website, AstroViktor.com. Okay, let's get started with this Pluto-Mars square. This is a challenging aspect, okay? We can make the most of it, and I'm going to give you hints and tips, and I'm going to break it down for the 12 signs as well. And therefore, I'm going to give you some useful tips how you might be able to use it for your own benefits. And I'm going to do that for my YouTube paid membership program participants. But here I'm going to give you some general ideas about how to use this. First of all, Mars in Taurus. So I'm going to walk you through the meaning of Mars in Taurus, and then the keywords for Pluto, and we're going to try to bring it together. Mars is about fight. So in the sign of Taurus, we can fight for nature. We can fight for a better financial situation. We can fight or even eliminate something that is causing us self-worth issues. Mars in Taurus is really grounded. It is very much about slowing down when it comes to making a decision. And that's why it could be a bit of a challenge for Mars being in Taurus, because Mars is more to do with speeds. Now, it is getting in connection with Pluto. What are the keywords of Pluto? Transformation, power, empowerment, loss of control and being in control, dreading something. This is about death and rebirth, something which is going to get digged up. So it could represent something to do with research and certain type of investigations as well. But also, whatever we do with Pluto, it's all about depth, passion, and intensity. So these are the keywords we're going to be using the most to try to figure out what this combination might mean for us. So first of all, because Mars in the sign of Taurus is about fighting in nature, and Pluto is a little bit of the awakener of the society. One of the meaning of this could be that there is going to be kind of like a movement to protect Mars, the environment, Taurus. So environmental protection is very much of a Mars in Taurus thing. And Pluto in Aquarius is very much about the collective power. Also, this could be talking to us about fighting against a financial system, and Pluto is trying to destroy the current financial system, but also it could try to destroy your own belief system about your limitedness around how you make your money. So with Mars, we're going to have to find the opportunity to reach out for something that might be able to give you more financial stability. And Pluto is trying to empower you on that. So basically, the Pluto Mars, in a positive way, could be working extremely hard to create better confidence for yourself. This is about standing up for your own principles. This is about being a pioneer when it comes to your position in the society, showing to people, Aquarius, that when you have got enough strength, stamina, and you've got that survival need kick within yourself, Mars in Taurus, then you can achieve anything. I mean, you can become a pioneer of a beauty industry as well with Mars in Taurus. And maybe the message we could be sharing with a Pluto Mars square is that beauty is not everything, for example, or beauty can be a unique, it can be something can be beautiful in a unique own way as well. Mars and Pluto pretty much about motivation. So it really wants you to motivate you to get out there and then be, for example, um, among other influencers. It wants you to create connections with others. It wants you to work online, for example. So, what do you want to be motivated about? It highly depends on the natal position of your Mars and Pluto, of course. Mars in Taurus is about endurance. Mars here never gives up. It is able to give up on things just to kind of achieve balance pretty much, but it has got the willingness. And Pluto is giving even more strength. This is about going after your long-term goals, pushing kind of like the gas pedal, not too fast, being considerate with Mars in Taurus, just not necessarily deviating from the right path. Mars in Taurus might like DIY around home, and then Pluto might be actually, let's dig up the garden, as in the planet of digging. So Mars in Taurus is very motivated about results and achievements and what's the financial turn around it. And Pluto is the planet of wealth. Yet, of course, some people will be thinking about, their financial problems and how to overcome that. How much money am I going to make next month? It's not going to be enough for bills. Unfortunately, it's within this aspect as well. But Pluto and Mars is very much about going after something that can give you better financial stability. Often with Mars in Taurus, we are very practical, a little bit low on mental energy though. And Pluto is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is a mental sign. So it is actually trying to make Mars to use its brain as well, rather than just the strength. So this could be very much of an indication of, you trying to lift 100 kilos, but it's just too heavy. So how can we lift it up without using all the muscle strength for what we've got? It could talk to you about how to control or stabilize your own energy as well. It could be Mars in Taurus is very good at building. So, how to build something up that is going to last, that is somehow innovative. In a way, it's unique as well, bringing certain type of unique transformation to a product. Now, this Pluto Mars could be brilliant for that too. Also, yeah, Mars could be something like judging others by how much money they've got, what their value system is. And Pluto could be coming into the picture and then telling you that it's time to actually work that through. Why does it matter for you? Typically, Mars, which is the knife, it can cut money out of our pocket as well. And Pluto could also represent that it's going to be hurting very much. So we need to be very careful of whether we're risking money now or are you making a smart investment? Who are you lending money to? Because Aquarius just overall people, but Aquarius can rule criminals as well. This is also about being able to warm up to others as well. Sometimes Mars has got a bit of an issue to do that in the sign of Taurus. So with Pluto, it wants to change that. Let's warm up to others. Having those benefactors, Aquarius, or having supporters, Aquarius, in our life is very useful. Also, Mars in Taurus holds the anger in, and at one point it can blow up. Now, this is something to pay attention to because Pluto is also quite explosive. So if you hold in the anger for a very long time, and this aspect is going to last for approximately about 1 week, almost up to 9 to 10 days, you're going to feel it. Now, what could really happen is that you're going to lash out on someone and it will feel um, it will feel like the world has collapsed in a way. So this could become a major argument. I mean, unfortunately, in the world, we can also see that let's say countries are going to be arguing for resources or money or even territories because Taurus can represent anything to do with Earth, right? So in a way, lands too. Yeah, that's a possibility. So obviously, I cannot be fully just on the positive side with this aspect. Also, Mars is very sexual. Pluto is also quite sexual as well. It's kind of like making a deep, intimate connection with someone. We might do that on a physical level with a friend of ours, or it's going to be a one night stand. Taurus is in pleasure, Aquarius pretty much about friends and the groups we belong to. And it could be quite interesting and tense after. How are we going to be reacting to each other? Maybe we met online and then we shouldn't have done that, but we still actually did it. So that's also in the cards. Of the Mars here, they lose stability or the ability to love. So Pluto might be wanting you to look at it from a psychological perspective. Why you have lost the ability of love? What was that moment, psychological moment in your life where you lost stability? Maybe the rug got pulled out of your legs. And then going back to that moment, in a way, rewriting that, or at least acknowledging the problem, might help you to move forward. Because remember, with Pluto, we are afraid and we are dreading to do something. We might be dreading to take action on something out of fear. And fear needs to be eliminated. That's the highest resonance of Pluto and Mars. Mars is about your physical needs. So in the sign of Taurus, the physical needs are all about food, money, sex, touch, kisses, hugs, and all those type of stuff. When it's not there, when it's missing, then Pluto might actually makes Mars even more intense, more angry. So of course we can be in arguments with others as well. I mean, the worst case scenario with Mars in Taurus, it can become very primitive, very intolerant. So again, how can that put you in a kind of shady situation, for example, with others? Mars is about straightforwardness. So Mars usually is very straightforward when it comes to wanting to get in bed with someone. But Taurus is kind of inviting us to be slowly, to be gentle, to be, a little bit more about courtship in a way. Um, and Mars in Taurus might be measuring himself of how many times they are able to have sexual pleasure one night or how satisfactory they are towards their partner. So with this Pluto in Aquarius to Mars in Taurus, it's kind of like a competition night of how many drinks we're gonna be having and all those type of things. Obviously, the fittest survive, right? And then that person has got a lot more strength. Now that's a Pluto Mars message as well. Mars in Taurus is telling you that you are entitled to be loved, to have money, to be confident. If you are struggling with any of those topics, Pluto is surely here to empower you, to change you, to drag you out of your self-digged grave you buried yourself into. Get out of it. That's one of the biggest message with this. Sometimes Mars is very stubborn here, very proud. And maybe Pluto wants to kind of eliminate that ego, the defense mechanism, very typical for Mars in Taurus. So, how to kind of wash that away? We don't need it. Let's just move away from it, right? Because sometimes ego is our biggest enemy. Let's just be pretty much, I think, honest about it, right? And not to mention that even we've got Pluto in involvement with Neptune, Jupiter, and Pallas Athene. We've got a cradle as well. I mean, a lot of things to talk about, to be honest, in regards to this, because it's always good to be looking at the overall bigger picture. But of course, we cannot always do that. Um, I would say that Pluto and Mars needs to be dealt with care and mindfulness. This is kind of really like electrifying. It's like climbing up on an electric pole and then you can get electrocuted. So it can overpower you, it can over sexualize you, it can make you an invincible warrior, it can give you the opportunity to become an entrepreneur as well, but it also can do exactly the opposite as well. The not being steady about something or consistent can actually pull the rug out uh, of your foot, basically. This can help you to transform yourself. It helps you to eliminate certain type of circumstances for your life. This is prompting you to go after something that is ruled. Pluto represents psychology, your trauma. So this is giving you the opportunity to heal certain type of emotional pain that you have been storing for a very long time. Pluto Mars makes someone highly competitive, but also it could make them fight till the bitter end, fighting for their own survival. They can get themselves in life and death situations. It's about wanting to win at all costs. And also, you bury of your rage, you bury your own rage or frustration, for example, with a friend of yours, or it could just boil and it could give us the ability to kill someone or simply being afraid of being angry. So, guys, I think let's use the determination side of Pluto and Mars to change your life around. Let's not get into any type of fight that is not necessarily kind of like police getting involved. Pluto Mars could talk to us about gun control and chemical issues. Let's have that adrenaline rush that is going to push you forward to achieve your long-term goals. See you soon. Bye-bye.